Welcome to What the Hill is Happening, City on a Hill's monthly informational and formational podcast. This podcast is where you can come to find out what is happening at our church and the why behind the happenings. Well, hey everybody, and welcome to What the Hill is Happening during Holy Week. Kind of a special episode that we've thrown together.
Holy month, if you will.
Holy month, really just the Holy Week, starting with Palm Sunday and going all the way through Resurrection Sunday. We wanted to just bring some information to you concerning Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. Lots of good things to talk about. And certainly for the March episode, there was already a lot to discuss. And so as promised, we have brought forth a separate standalone episode.
Yeah, whenever we planned this month for just events and everything, we thought to ourselves, what if we took everything
and put it in this month?
And put it into the month of March.
Yeah. And here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. So we begin this episode talking about Palm Sunday, which this year I believe is on March 24th.
Yes.
And this is something that we started doing pretty intentionally last year. I don't think we did it the year before that.
I don't know.
I can't recall. But certainly last year was a major part of Holy Week and just sort of celebrating that. We intend to do that again this year as well. And so as you know, March has been sort of a break from the gospel according to Mark. We got to hear from Brad Marvin. We got to hear from Chris Cunnington in Missions Week, and then Gary Ingram from Help for Families, who was here for the Unconfused conference. And of course, I jump in with him as well at the end of that message. But sandwiched in between all of these sort of special things leading up to the end of the month is arguably the two most important Sundays that we celebrate as a church, Palm Sunday and Resurrection Sunday. And so we wanted to just begin by putting that on the table for you to think about March 24th. If you have friends or family or people that you've been thinking about inviting to church, it'd be a really great Sunday to do that because it will be sort of a natural segue into Easter Sunday, the following weekend. And a good way to, I think, just sort of prepare people's hearts and minds for what we're doing, what all of this is about, right? I mean, without the resurrection, Paul says, we of all people have, are the most to be pitied. We have no hope. There's no future. There's no promise. There's no nothing. And so it is truly super important. And rather than just sort of dropping Easter Sunday right in the middle of kind of the normal flow of events, Palm Sunday is a nice ramp onto the highway, if you will.
Yeah. Well, and it's really like the beginning of the week that changed everything for all of us.
Yeah.
And as we're thinking about who to invite and everything, they might as well just come 2 Sundays in a row and get the whole scope of the picture of everything.
Well, and in some ways, this sort of segues into, we'll take a step back and talk about one other thing, but it does segue into the difference in experiences between Palm Sunday and Resurrection Sunday here, because there will be some notable differences, crucially, in that we'll be in a different room on Resurrection Sunday. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Before we get there, let's talk about work week or work day.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So on the 23rd, which is the Saturday right before Palm Sunday.
Yes.
We are having a work day up here at the church. And there's just going to be some like general campus beautification and everything. We do this every year as people are coming to the church, maybe for the first time.
Yep.
We just want to have the exterior of our buildings and of our campus look as nice as possible. So if you go on Pastor Derek's favorite app, the Church Center app.
That's right.
Right now. You can find a place just to sign up and say, hey, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
And I know that both our maintenance and facilities guys, Mark and John, who have some gospels as well, just kidding, not the same guys, but almost. It's not confirmed.
Not quite.
Anyways, so they would love to have your help that day. They're going to be leading the efforts that day. And so if you're handy or like to work in gardens or just want to show up and be of service, service, we'd love to have you guys there. Sign up in the Church Center app right now. Do it now.
It's a
3,
great
2, 1
way
now.
to sort of, I guess, spring cleaning, if you will, right? It is important for Palm Sunday and for Resurrection Sunday. There's no doubt about that, given the higher number of guests. But really, it kind of sets us up for the whole spring and summer, and makes the place just look nice. And then it'll rain a few times, and the grass will be overgrown within
Right back to it.
one day. So it's kind of how it works around here. But would love to have you sign up. Seriously, I think, did we talk about? We talked about maybe food at some point. I don't know if that's still happening.
I don't know.
No promises there, but if not, you'll be done at noon in time to go get food. And
9 a.m. to noon that
maybe
morning.
there'll be a group of people that'll all go out afterwards. That'd be kind of fun. Let's talk Good Friday and Easter Sunday.
So there's a rumor going around.
There is a rumor going around that we will not be in the worship center for both of those services, and that is a confirmed rumor.
Breaking news.
We will be in the gym, and before you freak out and ask why, because the gym is nowhere near as nice as the worship center.
It's not as near as nice.
Exactly. Let me tell you why.
Oh, sorry.
So, part of, if you've been coming to Sitting on a Hill for any number of time, particularly in the last couple of months, you know, especially in the second service, that it gets pretty tight in here. We have had some very, very large services, especially in that second and third service. And we're running into a little bit of a space issue right now. And we've got a lot of options and things that we're talking through, planning through, trying to figure out when the right time for all of it is. But the gym has come to the foray of that discussion several times. The gym, most of the time when I talk to people about meeting in there, the question, or the statement rather, that most people respond with is the gym really that much bigger than the worship center? And the answer to that question is emphatically yes.
Yep.
We had Easter in there 2 years ago, not really by choice. We were intending to do it outside. If you were there, you remember it was supposed to rain. It never rained. But
it was rather windy and cold.
It was windy and cold. It was the right choice to move it inside. And we had the black fold-out chairs for that particular service. And I think we had over 700 chairs in that gym space. Somewhere around 750, I think. For this service, for both Good Friday and for Resurrection Sunday, we are going to be in these chairs that you are used to in the worship center. We actually have 500 of these. We only have 360 that fit in this room, but we do have an additional 140 chairs that are in various places that we will be putting into the gym. So you'll get good, comfortable chairs. We will have some of those foldable black chairs probably closer to the back for overflow space, because we want to have roughly 600 to 650 in the gym in total. And the reason why that's important to me, there's a couple of reasons. One is I want you to feel comfortable with inviting friends and family to Easter Sunday. And as it stands right now, I think it would be very easy for you to think about inviting someone and then go, there's not really any space. It's like already hard to find a spot, as it is. I don't want that to ever cross your mind for these two services. I want you to have the confidence that you can invite as many people as you want, and there's going to be plenty of space. And I believe with two services on Easter Sunday, so we're going to eliminate the 8 a.m. and only keep the 9:30 and the 11, you will have plenty of space across 600 to 650 chairs. That's 1,300 total seats between two services. That should be, it would be an amazing problem to have if we run out of space, but that should be enough for you to confidently invite family members, friends, whoever you're thinking to come and be a part of that special morning. We are also going to be using the same, not the exact same sound system, but the same model sound system, more or less, in the gym. So the sound experience is going to be incredible. We are also having our LED wall that sits currently on our stage in the worship center transported over to the gym for us to be able to utilize that in there as well. And
it's going to be a great experience.
It's going to be an amazing experience. Yeah. And I think it will also hopefully cast a little bit of vision to you to what that gym could possibly do for us in the future. And the setup that we're going to have on Good Friday and Easter is going to be not what we would probably do in the future, but it will at least give you a vision of how many people can fit in that room.
At least from how it's set up, like where location.
Yeah, orientation.
Yeah. And I'll say too, for me, There are a lot of churches that do multiple Good Friday services. And for our church this year, because we're still able to, I wanted to only do one service because there's something about having the whole church body together to remember the crucifixion of Christ that's just special. Taking, the Lord's Supper together.
Yes.
And it's, if we can do that in a way that serves everybody, we want to do that. And to be honest, we would not be able to fit everybody that showed up last year in this room. Even though I do love this room.
Yeah, and on that note, I mean, if you remember, if you came to Good Friday last year, we did it in the gym. And we did it actually in a very stripped down fashion because we were in the middle of our under construction series, and that following Easter Sunday was the first Sunday we unveiled the LED wall and kind of the new setup in here. So it was we did Good Friday in there already a year prior, and it was not to the scale that we're planning on doing it this year. This year, because we're choosing to do both of those services in the gym, it allows for both really quality experiences to take place in there. And it also, just from a practical standpoint for Kelsey and a lot of the creative team, it gives them the whole week to get that room prepared. Whereas if we were to only do Sunday in there, then it's like we have to sort of scramble between Friday night and Sunday morning, and that's not fun.
Well, and we've got some really fun surprises that I'm quite excited about for that weekend as well. Just from a for our church members. So everybody else that comes that weekend, they just get to experience it as well. So
Good Friday, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Good Friday.
So it's a little later than the normal 6 or
gymnasium.
6:30 time that we do nights of worship. 7 p.m. in the gym, minimally 600 chairs. We haven't gotten it all set up in there, but I anticipate 650 is probably close to doable.
Yeah, invite your friends. If you have friends that go to other churches and they don't have a Good Friday service,
love to have them.
Love to have them come and just spend some time in worship.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really special experience, probably about around an hour to hour 15.
Yeah, I would guess somewhere in there. Lord's Supper will be observed, which is going to be great. And really, I've talked about this in years past, but I mean, if there's any time to really observe the supper, I think Good Friday is the obvious choice, given that the gospel account of the institution of the Lord's Supper happens on a Passover meal, which would have been on a Good Friday. So a lot to celebrate, and the timing of it is perfect. The space is there. We're really excited about it. Again, invite. We want to have that place full. Easter is like one of the most daunting, I think, Sundays to preach for a preacher because there's so much more pressure to get it right, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. For me, it's just so much more fun because it's the one Sunday where I love story-driven narrative preaching. The Gospels lend themselves well to that. I am planning on utilizing Mark for Resurrection Sunday and probably Palm Sunday as well. Given that we've been in Mark, we will cover those passages on those days. And then, when we get to those passages eventually in the scope of Mark, we'll just skip over them because we'll have already preached through them. And so I just think it's so much fun, and it's going to be so exciting. And what an incredible morning to invite non-believing friends, to invite unchurched people or people who are maybe church hurt, haven't come to church in a long time. A great morning to invite them to come and be a part of that experience. And again, only 2 services, 9:30 and 11.
How would people invite people, Derek? Is there anything they can hand out? Is there things they can share?
We don't believe in any of that.
What? Okay.
Just kidding.
Ooh.
Yeah, we do have inviter cards or inviter papers, flyers that are available. So pick them up as soon as you see this video. Really, the following Wednesday or Sunday. Don't leave on a Friday night and come up here because we won't be here. But yeah, as soon as you're able, pick some of those up and hand those out to friends, family members. We'll also have some stuff on socials that you can share. Sharing the information from the church page is one of the best things that you can do for just visibility and getting the word out to other people. Yeah. And then if you can include even in that comment or description portion something just of a personal note that makes it even more impactful. Anything that we can do to get the help, hope, and healing of Jesus to as many people as we can, we want to do that.
Yeah.
And so
Lord's doing some great things, man.
It's incredible.
It's kind of befuddling.
It is extremely befuddling. There it is. We talk about it all the time around here. It's the things that the Spirit of God is doing in the lives of His people is it's humbling, and we want to be as far out of the way as possible to allow the Lord to work and to just honor what He's given us and to try to walk in His will as much as possible. And so, we're excited. Hopefully, as you get closer to Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and Resurrection Sunday, you are not asking yourself what the hill is happening. But if you are, now you know. Have a great day.